Catherine Nye reporting there. Well, Stephen Lennon of the English Defence League is here now. English Defence League, what are you defending England from?
Sharia law, Islamism, the complete spread of militant Islam, which we're seeing in our towns and cities across the country.
You believe that this country is in serious danger of being taken over and put under Sharia law?
I believe that towns and cities have got the spread of Sharia law. We're seeing people calling for it to be implemented on a daily basis. We've got 100 Sharia court law. We have 100 Sharia law courts operating in this country. In 2003, the European Court of Human Rights done an in-depth study, and they outlawed Sharia law on the facts that it is incompatible with Western democracy due to their views on homosexuals, their views on women's and their views on infidels. So it's outlawed, but we've got 100 Sharia courts.
You honestly believe that there is a serious danger of the legal system of this country being replaced by Sharia law?
I believe that there's 100 Sharia law courts operating in this country. I believe that people are seeing it, given an inch, they want to take a mile.
Only for those who wish to abide by them, of course. They're not law courts.
There's 100 Sharia law courts dealing with local Islamic issues. And it's been outlawed.
Financial and family disputes within the Muslim community.
It's been outlawed it's been outlawed in 2003 by the European Court of Human Rights.
So there is no danger of it taking over our legal system. So what is it you're trying to defend England against?
The spread of Sharia law, the spread of terrorism, the spread of extremism, Islamisation, the political wing of Islam. That's what we're trying to do.
Could a Muslim join the English Defence League?
Of course they could, yeah. Of course they could.
And yet you say you're not against Muslims.
No.
They could join your organisation, but you are against Islam.
We're against Islam taken in its 7th century barbaric form.
Well, your direct quote is, I'm not against Muslims, just Islam.
Against militant Islam. And when I say Islam, taken in its 7th century barbaric form. If Islam was to evolve, which it needs to evolve, to fit in with Western democracy, which is clearly not. Clearly there's a problem. Clearly the English Defence League is a phenomenon that swept this country. And with the issues I'm talking about, Jeremy, if I ask you, do you know anyone that's hooked on heroin sold to them by Muslim gangs? You probably don't. I do. Do you know any beautiful girls that you went to school with that are now wearing a burqa that don't see their family? Probably don't. I do. Do you know anyone who's been murdered by a Muslim gang? You probably don't. I do. Do you know any 15-year-old girls that you know that you've grown up with that have been raped or pimped? You don't. So I don't expect you to understand the issues.
These are all personal issues of yours.
Personal issues in towns and cities like mine that are happening, and they're not happening with the Sikh community. They're not happening with the Jewish community.
And indeed, they're not happening with most Muslims.
No, they're happening within the Islamic community. This is what I'm saying, that it's an Islamic problem. And when I'm just a simple person, so I'm just a normal person, but when I'm looking at, I have to look for where this hatred's coming from.
So are you seriously suggesting there aren't white drug dealers and there aren't white gangs?
Of course I'm not, no.
Or Sikh gangs or any other kind of...
No, I'm not, but I'm saying some of these specific issues are coming from the Islamic community, solely the Islamic community. Terrorists wanting to blow us up, constant hostile activity towards our youth, all these problems, and from sitting back, there's got to be something it's coming from. None of the other communities are spreading it, so we're a symptom of the problem. The English Defence League are a symptom.
You're claiming that community is spreading it. Actually, what we're talking about
members
here...
of the community.
Yes, exactly, as you could talk about members of the white community doing all sorts of atrocious things.
Yeah, but not 24-year-old groups of 10 of them hanging around outside school gates.
You've never seen a white gang?
And purposely targeting...
Never seen a white gang?
Are we going to pretend that Muslim groups are not out there purposely targeting our youth and pimping them? Are we going to pretend it's not happening?
You're not pretending white people aren't doing that?
Then not in the same manner, not in the same group. They're saying it's a cultural thing which is going on within their community. And no one dare say it. I sat and watched Question Time, and when I watched Question Time, all I could see our political leaders was trying to explain that Jack Straw could have dressed it up a little bit better, and talking about these girls like they're statistics. They're not statistics. These girls are... Well, whose daughters do you think these are? Whose sisters? They're ours, in working-class towns and communities. And people are fed up of what's going on, and it is being ignored. For 20 years... Our councillors and the leaders from the Islamic community have conspired with the police to not deal with Muslim pimping gangs. They've allowed systematic rape of our youth for the fact of being scared to be called a racist.
Although you know perfectly well that this happens in all communities with a tiny minority of people. Your broader point is to tar the whole of the Muslim community.
I'm not tarring the whole of the Muslim community, no.
Well, you keep saying that the Quran is an evil book.
I didn't say that, but I will agree with you on that, but I didn't say that. What I'm saying is that there is a root problem. We're all symptoms. All these things are symptoms. We need to... Don't waste your money. The government are going to waste their money doing an in-depth investigation into these Muslim paedophile gangs, yeah? Don't waste your money. Do an in-depth investigation into the Quran. All of this hatred has got to be coming from somewhere. Because every time we hear a philosopher or an expert on Islam who's a non-Muslim, they'll tell you.
Any Muslim who takes the Quran seriously is, in your view, an enemy of this society.
No, any Muslim that takes it in a 7th century barbaric form.
In that case, oh, so you believe in some sort of revised Quran, do you?
I believe they need to revise it. I believe...
Who should do the revising?
97% of imams who are teaching in this country are from abroad. So that means these imams are teaching the same form of Islam that is taught in Saudi Arabia, the same thought that is taught in Pakistan. In Saudi Arabia, you can't have a Bible. Both of these countries are Sharia-driven hellholes without being rude. These issues. So if they're
read the Quran?
If they're taking, what I'm saying is, if they're taking that form of Islam from Pakistan or Afghanistan and they're teaching it.
Let me take you through what some of the people on your Facebook site are talking about what should happen this weekend.
If we're taking Facebook as a real form of what's happening within the English Defence League,
you can take these things out. I mean, you only refer to support.
Anyone can set up a profile.
Let's burn them all and everything. I want to stamp on an effing Packie's head. I mean, do you understand that people are frightened by that kind of thing, and they're frightened by the possibility of this demonstration?
We're frightened by militant Islam. We're frightened by Sharia law. The leader of the Luton Council of Mosques, the leader of the Luton Council of Mosques...
Aren't you worried by what you set off?
The leader of the Luton Council of Mosques, who is in charge of 19 mosques in our town, called for Sharia law for the Islamic community in our town. That frightens me. That frightens me.
And you're not frightened by what the prospect of a lot of young men swaggering around a town, chanting about doing Packies and the rest of it?
Genuine causes. We've got genuine grievances. Ours is a righteous cause.
All right.
It is. So
okay.
But I am worried.
Right.
I am worried, and many people across towns and cities.
Right. A lot of people are worried. I believe you. Right. Most of the newspapers tomorrow morning go with the news from Egypt, not surprisingly, and so there's no point in going through them in any great detail. That's it for tonight. I'll be back tomorrow. Good night.